welcome once again to the direct series Straight Talk from the Mdda, and we are all in the Destina One studio again. And before we proceed, wishing all of you a very happy New Year 2021, and hopefully that the COVID-19 pandemic will be a thing of the past very soon, even though it is still, everybody is still fighting and being a challenging year in year 2020. Now, from the last two series of the direct selling talk, I hope we have covered some, if not most, of the facts and opinions that you have been seeking. Let's talk today of the importance of education and training and how it's going to affect the success of the practitioner if he or she seriously in making this industry as part of his or her career. Now, ladies and gentlemen, most people related direct selling to motivation. In motivation and motivation, they go there, they rah, 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 and it's always about money, money, money. Is it all about money? It is not, ladies and gentlemen, I can assure you. There are a lot of things that we can, direct selling can, a person who pursue will be able to enjoy it, you see. And I hope by following this program so far, you realize the true potential that the industry brings, and certainly is not just about money alone. Quoting Mr. Konosuke Matsushita, the founder of national brand in the 19th century. You know, now it's called Panasonic. You know, I read his book called Not for Bread Alone, which is the title of his book. And therefore, when we do certain things, it's not just for bread alone. Okay, there are a lot of things in it. Now, 2020 has passed us by, and I believe the COVID-19 pandemic has in a way brought this world to its knees somehow. It is time for us to relook into ourselves, our real selves basically, our strengths and weaknesses of what we have achieved and learn from the pandemic. I always subscribe to the share of the attitude of unlearn and relearn, ladies and gentlemen. And even it is more relevant today because we are going into the new normal. And even if you maintain where you are and you try to do nothing about it, actually you are moving backwards. And I hope that somehow this program here today with our special guests and our captains of the industry, we're going to share with you something that you can maybe open up or enlighten you to learn something more of something that you can pursue in your career whilst in these challenging times. Now, coming back to here, how important is education, training, and direct selling as part of the formal education syllabus in the schools or university? You never know. And today, we have three captains of the industry sitting here with me who will share their wisdom and their experiences together with us. Now, first, let us welcome Datin Sylvia Koh, who is the president of MDDA and co-founder and vice president of MXM International. Welcome, Datin.
Thank you.
And next, of course, we have Dato Sri Dr. Barani, who is now the deputy president of MDDA and the CEO and founder of Destina One International.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for being here, Dato Sri.
Thank you.
And of course, this wonderful studio here, which we have here, which is a Destina One studio. And of course, let's focus on our special invited guest from the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs, Encik Muhammad Abdul Qadir Diral, Principal Assistant Director, Franchise and Direct Selling Development Division. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Now let's move into the proper. Now, before we proceed into the first question, Encik Qadir.
Yeah.
I've been informed that you are not new to the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs, but you have been involved in direct selling. Is something not too new, but not too old as well. We would like you to tell a little bit about yourself and introduce yourself to our fellow members here today or to the general public. You know, how you see it and what is your role as a Principal Assistant Director of Franchise and Direct Selling. Okay, we need to get to know you a little bit better.
Right, thank
of
you,
the
Mr.
industry.
Winston, Datin, and Datuk Sri. Firstly, I would like to thank MDDA for inviting us, for including us, the ministry, in this MDDA Straight Talk series, which is, for me, is very meaningful for us. And in the first two series, we have Encik Zul, my colleague, joining you, and today I'm here with you, maybe talking of something, sharing something about this topic, training. As you mentioned just now, I've been quite a while. It's been quite some time for me in the ministry. I've been in the ministry since the time of Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob, when I've been serving 5 ministers. Wow. And went through 4 divisions, departments, and since last year, April of last year, I've been joining this franchise and direct selling division, and my role is mainly to, if you look at the division, we come up with a policy, we come up with the rules and regulations, and for me and my team, our role is more towards doing programs such as seminars and trainings. We do showcases and trade shows and some programs with the media. So it is all about how we bring this industry, this direct selling industry and franchise industry for our divisions. How we need to tell the people that these two type of business is legal. There are act behind it. That we are fully in support of these two industries, and this is a good industry, good business that people can join in order to generate income for their family and friends.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for your introduction, Encik Kadir. Now, from the previous series of talks, we believe the ministry is looking into reshaping the industry. And can you share with us briefly what are the challenges that you feel that you face in getting the KPI in place, setting the pace of the industry, being the engine of growth within the Malaysian economy, and how do you personally think the education and training is part and parcel of the important recipe for the success of the individual participating in the industry?
All right, thank you again, Mr. Winston. Yes, I think personally, education and training is very important for business to grow. Every business, they need to have expertise in order to manage their account, in order to manage their people, their manpower. They have to have the skill. Each and every individual have to be equipped with the skills and knowledge and the know-how of how to do their functions to the fullest. So in this case, it is very important to give trainings, to provide this manpower or this human capital of the industry with the required skills and knowledge. And as sharing, just as a government servant, we ourselves are required to undergo 7 days of training per year. That is the minimum, and some of us even go further by enlisting in higher educations in order to upskill ourselves with the knowledge and be relevant with the need of the industry and the ecosystem in the world. So this shows just how much we as the government emphasize on fully support all the actions that you have been doing to give training to your members, and I think this is a good thing, to one step that's good for you.
Wow, we are very, very happy to hear that. And towards this, and I personally too, Encik Kadir, like to pursue education and training is very, very important. And I always emphasize at the end of the talk, I always tell people, your first step to transformation is education. Yeah. Because you need to be educated before you transform. Otherwise, which part, where are you going, what road are you going, what are the choices you're going to make? It all boils down to education. And knowledge, for that matter, is such an important asset to any individual. People can take your money away, can take your assets away, but nobody can take your knowledge and wisdom away from the brain. Right. So it's so important that we emphasize on education and training. And here we are in this series, we want to endorse and emphasize, together with the Ministry of Domestic Trade, the importance of this topic that we are talking about. Now, Datin Sylvia, the Malaysia today has risen up its ranks in the world rankings, and we are now placed number 7 in terms of total sales in the direct selling, which we have done about 20 billion, involving about 4 million Malaysians, be it part-time or full-time practitioners. Now the question is there any program that MDDA plan to implement or already has implemented in order to help those involved in the industry, be it the corporate company or the distributors or the practitioners. Now let's hear from you, Datin.
Okay. A lot of companies, they do a lot of product training, they do a lot of motivation. However, we notice there's a gap between the distributors understanding the industry as a whole and the code of ethics that is required for them to conduct themselves as distributors of direct selling. Hence, Mdda has come up with a module called Intrapreneur Program. It's called Intrapreneur because we are training them to be entrepreneurs within the framework of direct selling companies. And in this module, in this training program, there are about 6 modules. One is actually explaining in more detail what is direct selling industry, telling them what is actually needed to be an intrapreneur, what are the mindset of an intrapreneur, and also very basically is how do they manage monies, because once they start earning, some of them don't know how to handle what is cash flow. They money in, money out, but they need to know that when there is money, how to handle it, business management, accounting wise, and they know that they take in money, they have to give out later on to pay for their products. Okay. We also have digital marketing as a module. So the digital marketing teaches them, we bring in experts in digital marketing. And lastly, we also have a gamification. Okay, so this is a very fun program where suddenly they are divided into groups and then they are doing their sales and suddenly something will happen. And what are they going to do? What are they going to do if the prices go up? What are they going to do if there's some leaders leave? What are they going to do? So we have a very fun thing. It is a 2-day program, and we actually started a pilot in 2017. And in 2018, we had 2 companies who sent in their distributors to be trained. And on the Mdda 25th anniversary, which was on the 22nd of November 2018, the Minister of Domestic Trade gave certificates of participation to about 60 over participants, but we have 102 participants who have gone through. On top of that, in 2019, in December, we started training. Then, of course, came COVID. We are now also asking the ministry also to endorse or even support us so that more direct selling companies will send their distributors for training.
Yeah, thank you, Datin. And I always believe that through Datin as the president of Mdda has contributed a lot of what is required in setting the impetus of the direct selling industry. And certainly because we are closing the gap, yeah, so to speak, to make sure that the attrition rate, you know, for those of you who are tuning in, and if you are a leader or you are a company owner or in management, the education is so important that we will reduce the attrition rate between among the distributors, you see. So, and this is part and parcel of helping the industry as well to understand what they have gone into. Yeah. So, okay, now, thank you very much, Datin. Now, we have a program, a video, which we are going to share with you with testimonies and all this, so that you can have a little bit insight of what the DSI program entails. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please take a look at this video.
Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop.
It was great and awesome. I feel appreciated and I feel grateful
Okay.
to attend this seminar.
Will this program benefit you?
Of course.
How?
From personal to teamwork and towards the company. Because I have a full-time job, yeah, and I need to lead a team. So I think It is good to change personally first, and then to bring the benefits towards my team
Okay.
and to some breakthroughs and challenges.
All right, great. Thank you.
Stop. Don't stop. Don't.
Program yang baik dari MDDA. Saya galakkan semua pemimpin agensi menyertai. So boleh clear, banyak faedah, banyak info, banyak knowledge boleh dapat dalam seminar 2 hari ini. Terima kasih.
嗨，我是沈炼 from Sarawak Kuching，很高兴公司今天为我们安排这样的一个课程。这个课程如果能够改变成华语的话，可能我受益更多。虽然是英语，但是我还可以学到，因为 Trishan 一直在我身边为我解释，我很开心有这样的一个课程。我希望大家有机会的话也一起来参与这个课程呢，很值得，我们收获很多。谢谢。
இந்த ப்ரோக்ராம் பார்த்ததுல வந்து நல்ல அருமையான ப்ரோக்ராமு கற்றுக்கிறதுனால பெனிஃபிட் இது தெரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டேன் மற்றவங்க வந்து கற்றுக்கலாம்.
Alhamdulillah, saya rasa program ini sangat manfaat lah, banyak manfaat dia. Tambah lagi dengan idea-idea yang lebih bernas, dengan cara teknologi, dengan sistem yang ada. Saya rasa benda ini perlu diwar-warkan kepada lebih ramai yang entrepreneur yang bakal datang ni, yang mana ia akan membawa lebih manfaat kepada mereka dan keluarga mereka.
Relevant, and I think is, in my opinion, very applicable, very practical. Something that practitioner can actually pick up very quickly and use in their, their day-to-day business running of their one. And I think it gives very good insight, especially to the newcomers as to how to set up.
It's very fantastic, especially for the distributor, individual business people want to learn how to start the business. This is not a motivation. It's very skillful. Give you the skill, give you the knowledge, give the tactic.
Okay.
Very practical.
Okay, good.
Okay, every new person should come and attend for this session. This is a
Okay.
must.
All
Thank
right,
you.
great. Thank you very much.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that video gives you a little bit insight of what we plan to do with the DSI program, the Direct Selling Entrepreneurship Program, like what Datin's described just now. Now, let's move on to Dato Sri Barani. Now, Dato Sri, taking the comments from Datin and touching on the MDDA Direct Selling Entrepreneurship Program, what do you think are the subject or training module that you are, as the top management of a company, you emphasize in this area?
Right.
Meaning that which of the subjects, what you think is important?
Right. Thank you, Mr. Vincent. For me, if I look into the module of DSI program, I think all the subjects is important because every subject have their own way of doing it and their own motive and their own creation, right? So I believe all this is something equally important, right? It's not about one particular subject, but the overall subject has been created in that way because ultimately what we believe that network marketing, it is a skill-based business. So we need to build the skill because see, one more important thing, we need to break the barrier of the distributors, right? The challenge is it's very hard, it's very hard to bring them into the training. It's not easy, right? Even though they have a very big vision that they wanted to achieve their dream, they want to become somebody in network marketing, but they fail to realize that training is part and parcel of their success. But they wanted to become success, they need to go through the training because what I believe that training is like a system, right? But a lot of people, Mr. Vincent, when we talk about system, they become so allergic. They become like so worried and scared. System, oh, I'm not good into that and all this. No, system means it's like a highway. That means when you are traveling from KL to Penang, there is a straight highway. You just pay the toll, you just go straight and you achieve your destination. And if you follow the system, if you follow the training, the education, you reach your destination maybe in 3 years, right? But when people don't follow the system, that means they don't follow the training, they don't bother about the training, they do their own way. So they're taking a very long route, they still can achieve by maybe 10 years. So what happened, a lot of people, they give up, right? They give up easily, right? Because they said, oh, it's very hard for me to achieve in this business, very hard for me to achieve in network marketing. You see, but they fail to realize that the reason why they fail to achieve in network marketing, it is their own mindset.
Yeah.
It is their own mindset because they are not ready to accept the training as a part and parcel of their success. Right? So I believe that DSI, Direct Selling Entrepreneur Program that we created in MDDA is, I can tell you based on my knowledge, that is one of the best programs that we created. Reason why? Because we wanted to see every networkers, every distributors in network marketing industry to reach, to achieve, to become very, very successful in this industry. That's why we are keep pushing them, okay, to join and get a proper knowledge, right, on training of network marketing.
Thank you, Dato Sri. Now, like I always say, the DSI program, if I can emphasize, is that it does not clash with the trainings that each company or the leaders are giving. Because we are emphasizing on financial planning, we are emphasizing on business law, on cash flow, on etc., like what Datin Sylvia has mentioned. I hate to repeat it, but anyway, it is something that it will not clash. So companies and leaders and those practitioners, so to speak, need not worry that by attending this training, there will be a clash of what they are talking about. It won't, ladies and gentlemen, it won't. I can assure you that it won't, from my experience of what we have.
One thing, Mr. Vincent, what you say, I agree. You know why? You see, like companies normally they do product knowledge training, their marketing plan training, motivation training, break the barrier training, and all this. But honestly speaking, company need to educate. To all the distributors on certain angle, like financial and all this, how to take care and maintain their financial situations and everything. Because see, in network marketing, right, there is a say, right, they become a distributor, they make money, at the end they don't know where the money gone, right? Because they don't know how to save the money.
Yeah.
So basically, we are doing that job. DSI program is doing that part to educate them on how to plan things properly when you achieve in network marketing industry.
Absolutely, Dr. Sri.
Right.
You have already answered the second question that I have for you. Anyway, now, direct selling, ladies and gentlemen, and those of you who are new to this industry, is not about making money and buy your Prada handbags or your Hermes handbags or LV bags or your Ferraris and to show off. It's not about that, ladies and gentlemen. If somebody come around and tell you that this industry, you know, you have to change your car from whatever, I think they have got the wrong end of the stick. It is not about that. Okay, we want to build a business with our legs solidly, firmly on the ground, and you build a long-term business that can move to the next generation if you may want to. Okay, so that I would like to emphasize. Now, taking the comments from Dr. Sri just now, that's why I said he just answered the second question. Okay, training and education is very, very important, and I always feel that the biggest failure is a failure to participate from the distributors. You see, and you know, it's such an easy thing. Into success is always a process. It's always a process. Now, now moving along. Now I'd like to move to Encik Kadir now. Whilst on the subject of DSI program, I understand that your ministry, I think Datin has mentioned to you, is in the midst of reviewing the syllabus of the DSI program for us to get the endorsement or the support on the certificate. May I know if that is coming along in Encik Kadir?
Okay, Mr. Winston. I have go through the documents of the DSI programs and I've looked through the slides and we are fully supporting it. Of course, like I mentioned before, the ministry supports all kinds of trainings programs to give education to empower the personnel, regardless your leaders or in terms of your company to grow. So we are in fully supporting this this effort. It's just that we also think that maybe we can add some value to it, like we discussed before in some other way. In how we can add more value to the DSI program, maybe by aligning it with the skills department or Jabatan Pembangunan Kemahiran under the Ministry of Human Resource. Maybe if you can look forward or we can plan further to give more value in terms of that, because you see by getting certifications of skills, and this maybe is more interesting, will increase more participations from will attract more of your leaders to be involved. Of course, as I mentioned, we are fully support, and I myself will be interested to join. I'm looking through the video just now, and I've seen, in fact, I saw the face of my colleague Encik Aziz. He used to be in this division before, and I would be suggest lah if you can invite us at least to join the DSI program, maybe first as participants and perhaps later as joint facilitators. And
I'm sure you know. I mean, Encik Kadir, sorry to interrupt you.
Yes.
Maybe possibly that when our next DSI program, as we interact more, you will be one of our facilitators for the code of ethics. You know, because the code of ethics is fairly dry, a dry subject, if I may say. It is the Akta Jualan Langsung, the Directions Act 1993, what it needs to do and things like this. And if I may quote here, one of the paper which I have here is that the Garis Panduan, which is the guideline on the new license of the under the new license application. That in here, if I may read in Malay, because we may have overseas participants today who are tuning in. Garis Panduan Permohonan Lesen Jualan Langsung, which is the guidelines on the new license application. And here you are in one of the papers here, if I may check with you, is that pemegang lesen hendaklah melaksanakan perkara-perkara berikut. And under item 3, memberi latihan kepada pengedar atau ahli.
Yeah.
So that is one thing that is already in the Direct Sales Act. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are viewing wherever you are, you know, because direct sales is going to be a new profession, so to speak. And it says that all the new license holders, we're talking of corporate company license holders, will need to provide their distributors proper education and training.
Yes.
Yeah, that is part and parcel of this act. And you just correctly mentioned the ministry empower. You know, the word is empowering.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay, wonderful. Now, one more thing, Encik Kadir, is there any possibility that the government will provide any incentive or recognition to practitioners who are committed in seeking externally, in educating themselves for their personal development, in providing, improving the professionalism? Meaning, some of these distributors, you know, some of them, they may have only Cambridge, MCE today, if they want to pursue, will the ministry support them, or like you say the word, empower them, and you know, give them some help for a nominal fee or with a minimal cost, something which the ministry can do? What do you think?
Firstly, about the recognition, maybe we can start with the ministry recognizing the DSI program first.
Yeah.
Maybe we can start by going through that route.
That would be fantastic.
Then, in terms of extra training, and in addition to maybe to DSI, we at the ministry ourselves, we have our own training programs, not necessarily under our division, but we have separate division. We have business development division that is doing trainings. We have done about, I think, 17 training programs open to all. That is, we teach them how to train. Not how to train. I mean, we teach them how to manage their account. We teach them how to do proper business, how to do accounting, how to do their management account, how to properly manage their people. And these are all the things we have been doing it for, I think, 17 programs throughout the year 2018 and 2020. We would like to. And I just talked to the officer involved in charge of this yesterday, and she says there are a lot more coming in the year 2021. Perhaps we can include, we can open it with to the direct selling leaders, direct selling players, and to also be involved in this, because as if I'm not wrong, this program also the speakers for this training comes from various institutions, some even from higher learning education, some from other SME corps, and some training agencies under the government. So, perhaps we can include this some module and under this business development division. In fact, if I may, we even come up with 2 books. This division come up with 2 books. One touching on ethics, the good business ethics, covering all acts under the ministry, and the other one about helping the industry about the guide to going into the hypermarket, which is, I don't know whether it's relevant with the direct selling industry or not, but I think most of the PKS out there, they are looking about the way how to enter this higher market, right? So perhaps we can collaborate further.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's all about entrepreneurship, isn't
it's all about
it? Because the distributors from this industry, they need to have a mindset of business. You see, be it a franchise or be it conventional business, it is all quite related. It is almost the same.
They have to think forward. They have to not be within their comfort zone. They have to think, start planning to expand themselves.
Yes.
And we can come up with programs to support that.
That's why I always sometimes use the word blue ocean. You see, because the direct selling industry is sometimes you can consider it a blue ocean, because it is something that not everybody would like to touch. If you talk to 10 people, maybe 9 or 8 will tell you, no. You know, it's not for me. You know, I don't know what is this thing. You know, and I personally, I always get angry when somebody tell me I don't know what is this thing. You know, direct selling industry is not a thing. It is an industry. It's a very powerful business. It changes people's lives. You see, so I mean, I always like to emphasize on that. Now, for those of you who are still viewing with us, please share this program within your Facebook or YouTube Live, you know, or whatever you have under your WhatsApp message, encourage your friends to come in, whether you are a distributor or whether you are somebody from the general public. If you find that this program is so interesting for you and it is enlightening, being such a challenging time for you to make that decision so that you can make a bit of extra income rather than sit at home and doing nothing and try to, you know, recluse and get into a depression, you know. So I think this is something that you can look into as well, and it's a knowledge for you. You may not want to do it at the end of the day, but you know that direct selling is a very good industry. Maybe 6 months down the road, you may want to take a look at it again. Now here we are, we have a few questions here which people tuning in have been asking. Now first one we have from Esther from Cheras in Kuala Lumpur. Yeah, as a company owner, apart from the product training, should the company decide what kind of training the distributor should attend, or we give freedom to the leaders or upline, so to speak, to manage what kind of training they want to have for their downline, or it must be standardized to all groups? I'm looking at you, Dr. Sri. I think this it will be more suitable for you to answer this question. You want me to read it again?
Yeah.
As a company owner, which you are, apart from the product training, should the company decide what kind of training the distributor should attend, or we give freedom to the leaders or upline to manage what kind of training do they wanted for their downline, or it must be standardized to all groups?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Vincent. So I believe that companies should also put their step in to decide on what kind of trainings that they should provide to the distributors, aligned with the leaders, because the leaders also have to play their part. Because nowadays, I see most of the direct selling, okay, like those days, of course, there are a lot of trainers out there. They hire different trainers, they come in and they train the people, right? But nowadays, the leaders itself, the top achievers itself, are doing the training for their downlines and all this. So I believe that companies should involve, right? And companies should also set that kind of standardization on the training part. Because if there's no standardization, so what is going to happen? Of course, leaders, most of the leaders, what they want the business to grow, they want the downline to grow, they want everyone to make money, they want to motivate, right? They keep telling that don't give up hope and all this. That is very, very important. But I believe, and I always used to tell this, that our own experience is the best university, right? University don't teach us how to fail, but our own experience, right, is that to fail. That means our own experience, we fail, we come up. So based on that knowledge, that experience, I think everybody have their own ideas, own knowledge, the way of doing trainings. But I think we have to make it like a standardized. We have to standardize the program, the training modules and everything. And of course, the company should really involve to look into that kind of trainings.
Thank you, Dr. Sri. And I think that answers the question from Esther. And I fully agree with you, Dr. Sri, that we must have a check and balance and not just leave it to the leaders or just to run as they like, because most of the time leaders will be motivating their people. They may be teaching the distributors the wrong thing. You know, maybe it's all about money. You know, they forget about the values of life and things like this. You see, well said, well said. Now we have another question from Rajesh from Klang. Rajesh, I hope you are tuning in now. Which one should come first? Technical training, which means it's product and marketing, or self-development training? What do you think? Okay, Dr. you want to answer that as well?
Right. Okay, if you ask me, I believe that both is equally important, because when as a distributor I involve into one company, I definitely need to know the product knowledge, the marketing plan and all this, because that is basically is the one who's going to drive the entire thing, the business, right? So without knowing the knowledge of the plan and the product, of course I cannot go and talk to people out there. But meanwhile, something important should pop up there. Self-development training. This is very, very important, right? Because in order for me to learn something from that company about the marketing plan or the products or whatever, right? Self-development is something important because number one, I need to love what I'm doing. So when you fall in love in what you are doing, then you will easily start to focus and involve into education and training. Otherwise, you are just doing for the sake of somebody invite me, I'm here to make money and I'm just selling the product. Never mind, I just go do some sellings and everything and I'm getting some commission out of that. Fine. That is not the way, you see.
Yeah.
So what the most important thing is to tune their mindset. So self-development, because as what I said, Mr. Vincent, network marketing is a skill-based business, right? A lot of people, sometimes they used to ask this question to me, but I cannot talk like you. Important thing, you don't need to talk like me, right? You just have to duplicate. The meaning of real duplication is education. You learn something, you get the proper knowledge, then you duplicate the same thing. You tell the same thing, the same knowledge to somebody. You see, so that is the duplication, you see. So you understand the concept, you learn something, then you share to people, right? So self-development is something very, very important because that is the part which will break their barrier and give them confidence that, hey, I can talk, I can explain the product, I can explain the marketing plan, I think I can sign up somebody into the business, right? So this is something very important, you see?
Righto, well said. And I hope that answers Rajesh's question from Klang. I hope again you are tuning in, and I hope that those of you who are viewing it, please share again, please share in your Facebook live or your YouTube live, you know, so that more people can benefit from it. Okay, now there are questions rolling in, and we have a third question here. What makes retention of distributors or agents nowadays so hard? Even the company has equipped them with all the assistance and trainings. How to know that we have provided enough facilities to our agents? Latin, you want to answer that?
I'll answer some parts of it.
Yeah, please.
Although the company provides all this, as Dato Sri has mentioned, right? They provide the product training, they provide the marketing plan, but unless the person takes ownership of what they are selling, unless the person falls in love with what they are doing or actually believe in their product, then it is a lifelong thing. If they are just in for the monies, then, you know, if they fall, then they just give up. A lot of them also, you know, within the network marketing, they are family, you know, so they also enjoy being together and motivating each other in the network to excel better, okay? So you need to know what you are about, and a lot of it also is education, self-development, right? You need to know what you are doing and what is your stand on and your belief in the product.
Thank you, Datin. Thank you. Now we are running into the last 10, 12 minutes. Now, Dato Sri, what have you got? What is your take with that, so that Vivian from Damansara can hear about this?
All right. Okay, if you ask me, Mr. Vincent, my personal opinion, treat every distributors like your own family members. Like what Datin said, I agree. Right? A lot of companies, what they do, they treat distributors as their distributors. Right? But of course, you need to like check and balance, right? You need to play your role there, right? That's important. Otherwise, we don't want distributors also to take advantage, right? So, but we need to like really balance the thing, and we need to really tap them, and we need to keep them beside us and treat them like our family members, because you need to retain them in the business. See, the problem is, a lot of people are not serious when they involve into network marketing. The reason why, see, if I ask you to invest 100,000 ringgit to open a restaurant, then you're serious about it. Reason why is 100,000 ringgit or $1 million or whatever, right? So even when it comes to holiday or whatever, for you, business is the most important. So no, I've invested so much, so I must make sure I earn that money back. But in network marketing, the problem is very small investment. That means the product they're just buying for few hundred ringgit and they automatically become a distributor. So what happened for them, it's like, it's okay lah, if things work lah, otherwise no problem, it's just small money. I got the product, I'm happy with the product, that's all. That is a mindset that we need to break. That's why I always used to tell my distributor, when you buy one product, let's say 400 ringgit, make sure your mind need to tell you that you are investing 400,000 ringgit in this business. Right? It's not about 400 ringgit. You are putting 400,000 to buy that particular product. I mean, you're telling your mind, it's everything your mind said what. So you tell your mind, so your mind is getting ready that, oh, that means the value of that product is this much. So I have to seriously focus and do the things and make sure I achieve in this business. You see, that is a mindset that we need to create. And as what I said, Mr. Vincent, one thing, I personally used to treat all my distributors as my family members, right? I've heard many networkers, they used to say, it's very hard to meet the CEO of the company, you know. It's not easy. But for me, I meet everybody. Whichever country that I travel, wherever, all my distributors, I give them a special program that they can meet me, meet and greet programs and all this. Reason why? Because I wanted to keep close with them and I wanted to really educate them on these things, right?
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sri. That is not a commercial from you, are you? Anyway. Anyway. Now, you know, we are running a little bit of a time constraint. Now, there's another question from Yuri Zakaria, because we are trying to answer as much question as possible so that more people can tune in. And we want to participate into what are your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are tuning in. One of the panelists mentioned about the DSI program. Can individual distributor like me join the program, or must it be a company? Do I need to pay by myself or claim to the company, or any government fund can I apply? This is from Yusri Zakaria from Bangsa. Now, Datin, I think is pointing the question to you about the DSI program. Can an individual distributor just join the program?
An individual distributor can join the program, okay? Some companies can decide to have the program just for themselves, for their distributors, and some companies may pay for their distributors, or the distributors pay, or they go in parts. But for members of, for distributors of MDDA corporate members, that means companies that are members of MDDA, they get a special rate. They get a special rate because their companies are members of MDDA. Then we have others commercial. You don't have to be in direct selling to join this program, okay? Because there are certain modules that you may find useful, or you may want to explore and say, okay, I want to know whether direct selling is for me. I can do that. However, the price is not a lot, okay? We try and make it as low as possible, and even in MDDA office, we have a small training room that the trainings can be done, so the cost of training is not that expensive. For getting funds, I will have to refer to Tuan Kadir.
So you pass the ball to Encik Kadir. Okay, Encik Kadir. Before you answer this about the funds or whether they can claim from the government, we have another question from Nadia Ali from Penang, all the way from Penang. Hi Nadia, we are very happy that you asked this question to Encik Kadir. What are the directions of the government on further improving the education and training for the industry? And secondly, do you think the new officers of the ministry must be trained for a better understanding of this unique industry?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Winston. As again, as I mentioned earlier, government really puts high priority in this education and trainings, and that's why government established a lot of agencies, not one, two, but a lot of agencies that provides industrial training, and some caters to specific industries, some for general skills. But this is where we if we want to further enhance this training under the DSI programs, it is a good way for us to look how we can collaborate with these agencies, and how we can towards the end we can provide meaningful certification to the participants, so that even if whatever happen, they have that skills, that they have the certification, they are qualified personnel of the industry of direct selling. That is something that is very interesting to have for everyone. I think you are certified personnel, and maybe we can have several levels, but that is a long way to go, but it's not too late to explore, right? And then regarding our officer, regarding the allocation or budget, or maybe we can start thinking about it, about how we can assist, especially of course we understand this. The good thing about direct selling industry is it is one of the easiest business to start with low barrier, with low starting capital required. But this is very interesting if we can involve a lot more people under the B40 categories to get involved into this business and to further increase their income, their economy. So of course, along that route, we don't expect them to have the fund to join all these trainings, and of course they can apply for government schemes, government practice. But maybe if we want to look further into this direct selling industry, maybe we can start discussing or thinking about what we can do to assist this kind of people to have trainings. And as for the question about whether ministry personnel, whether we should, but yes, I agree. Even as for me, I have a lot to learn from you guys, the captain of the industries, and I am relatively new in this. So there is a lot, like Datuk Sri Barani mentioned now. Experience is the university, right? I have a lot. There's a lot of things that I need to learn through all your experience, and perhaps by joining your sessions, maybe there are some things that I experienced from maybe through our discussions with other industry players that we can share along with the so. This is the good thing about training, is that we meet each other. We create network with other people, and there are 3 people's participation. We can create network between ourselves and share our experience. This is very good. And that's why I said I expect Mdda to send us an invitation so that we can join it later and share perhaps the knowledge together.
Absolutely, in Jakarta, because I myself personally, I have trained twice. I've given trainings to the enforcement officers of KPDN KK. Once was in Pulau Langkawi, where KPDN at that time was KPDN KK. Flew in all the officers from Sarawak, from everywhere, met in Langkawi, and I did a training for them, particularly in terms of the marketing plan. You know, in the differentiate between a genuine marketing plan versus an illegal pyramid scheme plan. You know, I mean, that will be under chapter 5 of our part 5 of our series of talk. Yeah, and another time was in Kuala Lumpur itself, where I did a training. Yes, fully agree with you that you emphasize, and I hope that answered Nadia's question. Now, as time is running short, Datin, in a nutshell, let's just before we conclude, what are the short-term and long-term plans on education and training that Mdda is considering the number of Malaysians who have somehow improved their income and livelihood in the industry? How about setting up an academy, you know, with the participants of KPD and HEP, specializing on career development for practitioners of the MLM industry? Possibly a home-based education program, considering the present COVID-19 pandemic scenario.
Actually, we would like that direct selling be recognized as a method of marketing. Okay, so it could be as in a subject in a marketing course in the university, right? Secondly is we also would like this DSI to be just the stepping stone. Okay, it can go up to maybe getting better qualification, because a lot of direct selling distributors may not have a university education, may not have a college education. So we would work maybe with other foreign entities to upgrade it to a degree or even a diploma that is recognized. Okay, to work and also maybe for those who are home-based, just a simple home-based program that would be interesting for them, just to understand what is direct selling. So that would be in a pipeline, and there's quite a fair bit of work, but we hope to work with the ministry to get all this, and so that we can make Malaysians more entrepreneurial. Okay, the main thing is the entrepreneurship spirit is in most Malaysians.
Yeah, and of course under this program, I'm sure that we have the CPD program, so-called is a continuation of the professional development program we call CPD, okay, for adults education, home-based, where we can even move on from the from what we have been discussing from MDDA, where the person can even move up to a diploma level. You see, giving those people who are only Form 5 now a chance to achieve further education. You see, and they'll be very, very proud to the family that, you know, dad or mom is getting a diploma, you know, whether they are 40 or 50 or could be 60 years old. You see, yeah. So I always emphasize and you know, advocate the importance of education and training. Now, we started a little bit late, and so now I would like to get Dato Sri to contribute a little bit last, very quickly. Dato Sri, knowing you, can you share with us the strategies in education and training that your company has done so far during this challenging period of COVID-19 pandemic? How do you find the effectiveness of online training?
Right. Thank you, Mr. Vincent. Online training is something not new for us, right? Because we have offices in many countries, right? And I used to do training for my entire distributors, my whole world distributors. And of course, that time I used to do like a Zoom program, Zoom call meeting. We call Founders Friday. I mean, every Friday we will have that program, and we'll have a table talk with the founders on every Monday. So basically, we used to do this kind of training programs on weekly basis to our distributors. So when come to pandemic, that is something really something challenging.
Effective? How
it's very, very effective, because when we do online programs and all this, it's very effective because basically we are keep the activity going, you see. So that is something important, will keep the momentum of the distributors to go, right? Because the training is the most important thing to make somebody to get motivated and keep going on the business.
Before you lose them.
Yes, before you lose, we lose them, right?
Like we say, our size, our mind.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Then what we did when come to the MCO, this pandemic and all this, we upgraded ourselves to make it more sophisticated and more high-class type of training by setting up a studio.
That's the
right?
Destina One studio.
Right, that's the Destina One studio.
Thank you very much,
Right,
Dato
that's the
Sri.
studio.
Otherwise, you keep continuously running your commercial. You know, we don't. I'm sorry about that. We are running out of time, and Karthik there is laughing. Okay, so now we are coming to the end of the program, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for participating, and on behalf of MDDA, thanks to all our guests, especially Encik Muhammad Kadir here.
Thank you.
You know, and for spending your invaluable time with us for this Straight Talk series number 3. And to, of course, to all of you who are tuning in live, my sincere thanks to all of you. And please help us to promote the true potential of this industry, the best way you can do in this industry. And what you have learned today, I hope that with education and training, you do not have to fake it till you make it. That is a big problem with this industry. A lot of practitioners, they fake it till they make it. They show off with their cars, and 6 months later, the cars disappear. Some of you who are tuning in this program, you may hate it, but I think that is the facts of life, because truth is very painful sometimes. Okay, so we look forward to seeing you again in our next series, number 4, which we deal with the code of ethics, compliance, and which are very important subject matters in your involvement in the industry, be it wherever you are in the world. Okay, do you know that a failure to adhere to the AGL Direct Selling Act, especially in Malaysia, can put you in trouble? You can be prosecuted as well as a distributor. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not trying to scare you, but that is how it is. The Malaysian government, in its effort to protect the consumers and to protect the citizens of the country, they don't want them to be involved in illegal pyramid schemes and things like this. But of course, it is still ongoing. People still go in, but we will try our best to put a stop with it. Okay. Now, with that, ladies and gentlemen, take care of yourself. I hope you can share more of this program to your people, and we have a video for the end at the end, where you can see why Richard Branson, like people like Anthony Robbins, people like Robert T. Kiyosaki is endorsing the direct selling industry. All right, and with that, thank you for investing and spending your time with us today. Thanks again to all our guest speakers with us. Till then, take care, bye-bye, and stay safe. Thank you.
Now it's time to build a business from home.
We are a nation at war with invisible forces.
News concerns over the coronavirus outbreak, and once again they are affecting the stock market.
The situation we are now facing is unprecedented in history.
We have a hope that is actually looking into the vaccine.
Start with breaking news. Wall Street is about to close any minute now. The Dow collapsing.
Just stay at home.
Those special times when countries are in lockdown, air travel is banned and even borders are closed, many people are looking for possibilities to generate an income from home. Does a home business really exist? Can you make a living with a laptop and a phone? And would it be worth it during a crisis like now? Will it still work when the situation is over? Yes, it will. Because it has for more than 100 years. This $200 billion industry is called network marketing.
Beautiful about network marketing is you get all the benefits of being an owner without all the headaches and without the same level of risk. I'm a big fan of network marketing, always have been, and you continue to grow your skill set.
So I'm a tremendous believer in network marketing, and I'm a great believer in entrepreneurs.
The reason Kim and I endorse network marketing is because unemployment keeps going through the roof, wages keep coming down. That's why we endorse it.
They are possibilities. They are opportunities. Are you prepared? What is your plan B?